When is the last time you took the opportunity to reflect on your leadership? Yeah, interesting question. Truth of the matter is that for many of us as leaders, we often get so caught up in the day-to-day that we often forget to pause and look back at our progress. So we lose out on the opportunity to learn from those experiences. Recently, I learned that the most effective leaders not only lead, but they learn from every experience. They learn from the successes and from the setbacks as well. Now, what if I told you that taking 15 minutes to reflect on your leadership could radically change the way that you approach your next leadership challenge? I'm Jason, I'm the leadership guy, and I'm here to help you become a better leader. Today, we're diving into a powerful leadership review process that will help you to evaluate your progress, to understand the lessons that you've learned, and to set you up for even greater success in the future. So whether you're wrapping up a year, a quarter, a season in life, or a specific assignment, this review is designed to give you clarity on your leadership journey. So get a pen or pencil and some paper, get comfortable, and let's get started. By the way, I've created a worksheet for you to use, and the link is in the description below. Let's get going. In this leadership review, we'll look at 4 areas: what you did, the good things, the not so good things, and very importantly, some lessons learned. So let's begin. We start with what you did. As you consider what you did, focus on this question. What were your key areas of focus? Among the many things that you may have done during this period, what were some of the key areas that you put your focus on? As a leader, what did you pursue during this period? What were the things that you were chasing after? What were the main things where you poured your effort and energies into? What held your attention? So during this time, what were those key areas of focus for you? You have that? Take a few seconds again, write them down, and let's move on to the second question in this section. How did you contribute as a leader? So as a leader, how did you contribute in this period? What were some specific actions or decisions that they made the greatest impact on your team or your organization? What were some of those things? Maybe you led a significant project, where you completed or wrapped up a significant project during this time. Maybe one of the things that you did was provide some support for your team's growth and performance. As you consider that, write these things down. How did you contribute as a leader? Take a few seconds again and write them down. And let's move on. Third question in this section. What moments or experiences stood out to you? Yeah, what moments or experiences stood out to you? As you just reflect, consider this period, some things are going to jump out at you. You want to consider what was particularly meaningful or memorable during this period. They just jump out at you. Yeah, this comes to mind fairly quickly. How did these experiences shape your perspective on leadership? What emotions or insights did these moments trigger for you? When you remember them, when you consider them, what are the emotions associated? What are the insights that you would have gained because of those moments? Write them down. Take note of them. A few seconds again. Let's get ready to move on. And here we go. Let's go to the next section. The good things. We often enjoy paying attention to this. So let's reflect on the positive aspects of your leadership experience, the things that went well and made you feel good about yourself. Think about the successes. Think about achievements that you have. Think about moments where things just went well. So here's your first question. What were your key successes or positive outcomes during this period? What were your key successes or positive outcomes during this period? You may have had some wins. You want to write that down. Identify what those things are. What are the achievements that you're most proud of? What actions that you took or decisions that you made had the most positive impact? It helped to move things forward. What are some of the moments or milestones that really stand out as examples of progress or success? This is the stuff that makes you feel good. You have that? Okay, let's get ready to move on. And here we go. What strengths did you leverage during this period? We all have strengths, and you have several strengths as a leader. And during this period, you would have used some of those strengths to really help you advance things. So I want to consider what are some of those strengths that you used. So what skills and abilities helped you to achieve your success? Whether they are big successes or small successes, what are some of the skills and abilities that you used? How did your personal strength contribute to the outcome you experienced? Personal strength, these are things that you are good at. What are some of those things? What was a standout moment when your strengths were key to your leadership success? You look back and reflect and realize, hey, that area that was strong there, that made a significant difference and contributed to the success. Take note of them. You have them. Getting ready to move on, and here we go. What new skills or insights did you gain during this period? What new skills or insights did you gain during this period? Maybe you learned a new skill. You had a clear insight into something that you did not have before. And this is what you want to capture. You want to consider, how did you apply these skills or insights in your leadership role? Right. How did these skills or insights enhance your ability to lead others effectively? There's a skill that you developed, an insight that you gained that you didn't have before, and you were able to effectively use this to better lead your team. Write it down. You have it. Getting ready to move on, and here we go. Let's look at the not so good things. These are not the things that make you feel all great about yourself, but let's reflect on this. I want to reflect on some challenges, some setbacks, some areas that you need to improve in your leadership experience. This is an opportunity to honestly assess what didn't go as planned and what can be learned from those not so good situations. So let's lean into it. What were the biggest challenges or setbacks you faced during this period? Biggest challenges or setbacks? What did those look like? Maybe there were some obstacles that you encountered that made it difficult or even impossible to achieve your goals. What are some of the situations that just didn't turn out the way that you expected? You thought that this was going to be a win, and it was just the complete opposite. What caused some of those challenges? And how did you respond to them? You have them? It's getting ready to move on, and let's go. What areas of your leadership could have been stronger during this period? We all like the wins, we all like the successes, we all like the times when we are strong and we are demonstrating ourselves. But there are times when we just wasn't as strong as we could be in some areas, and that's what we want to look at. So, what were the times when your leadership was less effective than you would have liked it to be? It just wasn't as effective as you wanted. You didn't have the insight, you didn't have the strength, you didn't seem to have the necessary skill set, and things just fell apart. What skills or behaviors could you have improved to achieve better results? And what kind of feedback did you receive that pointed to areas for growth? Because people are going to tell you, yeah, you did not perform well in this. Sometimes you see it in their facial expressions, you see it in their body language, and sometimes they will straight up just tell you. What are some of those areas? Getting ready to move on? Let's go. This one stings. What mistakes or missteps did you make, and what did you learn from them? We don't like to make mistakes. We like to be right. We like to do the correct thing. We don't like missteps, but they happen. So what are some of the mistakes or missteps you made, and what did you learn from them? There are some decisions or actions that you probably just regret. You could look back on it and say that, yeah, I wish I handled that differently. You're wondering, why did I do that? But you can't change it. But what you can do is learn from it. So when you identify those mistakes and missteps, what lessons can you take away from those experiences so that you can avoid repeating them in the future? Take note of them. They're not pleasant, they don't feel good, but it's important that we are able to identify them. Getting ready to move on? And let's go to the last section. Lessons learned. So let's reflect on some key insights that you have gained from both the good and the not so good experiences during this period. Think about how these lessons can shape your leadership going forward. So let's consider. What are the most important lessons you've learned from this period? If you had to jot down a couple of them, what would those be? Consider what you learned about yourself as a leader. It's like looking in the mirror, seeing yourself. This is what I learned about myself. Or maybe you're looking at people and you're learning from them and about them. What did you learn about people? And what did you learn about situations? Now that you've been through it and you look back, what are some of these important lessons that you learned from this period? Write them down. Getting ready to move on? Here we go. How did the challenges you faced shape your leadership growth? How did the challenges you faced shape your leadership growth? The name of the game is growth, advancement, and progress. That's the name of the game. Growth, advancement, and progress. And the challenges that you face will significantly help you in these areas. So, how do these challenges shape your leadership growth? What do these challenges tell you about your strengths and your weaknesses as a leader? Because they want full display for everybody to see. You want to be able to identify them. What did these challenges teach you about your strengths or weaknesses as a leader? You want to consider how did overcoming these challenges improve your problem solving and decision making? And you want to consider what strategies you can use next time you face similar challenges, but because be sure those similar challenges are coming again. But you want to consider what strategies you can use to do that. Have them written down. Getting ready to move on. Let's go on again today. Final question in this section. How has your perspective on leadership changed during this period? As you look back at yourself at the start of the period, whether that was a year, a quarter, a season, or an assignment, whatever the period was, look at yourself at the start of that period and look at yourself now. How has your perspective on leadership changed during the period? What insights have you gained about what makes a leader effective? How have your experiences changed your approach to leading others? Because you went into the period thinking and seeing things one way, probably would have changed your view by the time you get to the end of the period. What do you now believe is most important in leadership role going forward? What's most important for you there? Thanks for taking the opportunity to reflect on your leadership. Congratulations on your journey thus far. Leadership is a continuous journey of learning, growth, and development. So going forward, set some intentions for your next leadership phase. Check out this video for more help in becoming a better leader. See you next time.